Hey everybody, it's Mandy White Pearl here, and I have some special guests on today's, I don't know, it feels like an episode of like TV, Mandy's TV Land or something. Today was Take Your Kid to Work Day, and since Ron and I work at home, the boys thought that meant they got to stay at home and play video games all day long, but we had other plans for them. So I'll let Ron tell you about our adventures from this morning.
All right, so this morning, we have two boys, so we split it up. We did one boy in the AM, one boy in the PM, and with Matthew, our younger boy, we created a mid-morning event where we were live and we're telling everybody about our antics and our promotions and what we're up to, so that he got a sense that we have events, right? And then we went to promote the events at the locations around town where we would normally go anyway, because we sort of do what we want with this time freedom laptop lifestyle. Mandy has some local vendors that she goes to, Pilates classes and such. So we got dolled up and handed out brochures, which we made this morning, and handed out brochures to invite people to come to the live event. So Matthew got an idea that we do promotion and we do live events to talk about our upcoming 21-day challenge. Matthew's introducing himself. This is what we are, this is who we are, this is what we do.
And then he got a donut,
he got a
bagel, and then he got a smoothie.
And he got to talk about this is who I am.
Sorry, the afternoon shift's not exciting.
Yeah, this is who I am, this is what I'm up to. And he got to flirt and meet new people, which is something he's totally good at, totally got understanding.
He ran into somebody that he knew.
Yes.
Ooh.
Then Matthew was on our
Which
live
means
promotion.
You can get clients anywhere, and it's really can be as easy as going to get a bagel.
So part of the fun as parents is to try and create stories and events and experiences that relate what we are and what we're about and what we're trying to do to the children in a way that they can relate. Seed the story for later. So in Matthew's case, we developed, we know he wants to go out and do something, right? Where Andrew wants to be a little more technical and get behind the scenes with some computer stuff. So we got Andrew working on some e-commerce.
See, Andrew's an old pro at this, like stay at home or work for your parents' day. So
Yes.
years ago, we said it was actually my first Take Your Kid to Work day with Andrew, and he was into making those rainbow loom bracelets. And so we set up a little Facebook Live. You remember doing that video?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how much money did you make?
In total, $256.
Pretty good day for, making your first video and selling bracelets online,
Yeah,
right?
you were what, 6?
So,
you were 6?
something.
7?
So, this year, Andrew said he wanted to do some more computer stuff. So we've got him all dressed up for a webinar here. He's got his suit jacket on, right? And his internet marketing shirt, like a, print graphic shirt.
Yeah.
And then we're all properly webinar dressed from below the waist. Nobody has shoes on.
From above the waist.
Oh, yes, properly above, and who knows what below, right?
So the way that we edited the events for the afternoon, and we started yesterday actually, is Andrew is now moving into middle school, right? So quick aside, when I did my first, like a day where you show up at the kids' school and you tell them what you do for a living, right? I had to come up with a way to relay what I do as an internet online marketer with kindergartners, right? So I had to come up with a story that they would connect with, because I was explaining to Drew, ultimately when you're creating a story, you want to create a story that has an outcome, but the outcome transpires through the connection that you make to the person. If you don't make a connection, the outcome never transpires. So what I was inspired to do is, this is right when the iPad, this is 5, 6, it's kindergarten, right? So 6 years ago, the iPad was a brand new thing, and I had this giant iPad. And what I realized is, okay, if the children wanted to use something that I was involved with, what would be fun? So what I ended up doing is I brought the iPad in, which is already dazzling, right? And I was like, I help companies get found using your computer, right? Because the computers want to, organize the information. I help it so that if you want to get found, right? So then I opened up the computer and went to the maps, and I showed them where they were on the map, showed them the school. And then I showed them directly across the street. What did I show them?
The ice cream store.
The ice cream store. So I mixed an ice cream store with the school, which was them, right? And the iPad as the device, and now I had their total attention. Totally fantastic, totally amazing, right? And they were like, oh, can you show me my house? Oh, can you show me my house? So I helped them understand that I work with computers to get the thing on the map. right? They don't have to know all of it, but now they know why they care about what I'm doing, right? Because the firemen, we know what they do. The policemen, we know what they do. The internet marketer, like what is that, right? So that was wonderful. So how do I now update that presentation for my now burgeoning middle school boy who is entering 6th grade? So yesterday I talked about for the first time what it's like to be a manager, right? And a manager is like, oh, I know what a manager is. A manager manages, la, 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 right? Yeah, right? So with that, we had Andrew write out a process to help him manage his now like exploding career at the middle school.
Yay.
Right? So what's the biggest difference between elementary and middle school?
Switching classes.
Switching classes. So it used to be you had one class,
Well,
right?
5th grade we had 3, but that was barely any switching.
Right?
It was practice.
So with all of this now new chaos, we created a process that helps Andrew tie together the different elements of his life to help him understand how they all integrate to serve his larger purpose. He wants to have a good experience at school. So he has a morning checklist. He has an agenda that he carries around that tracks his day. And then we created a feedback loop using the online platform that the school provides. So you can check grades and contact teachers. And then we detailed what's involved in the morning checklist, what's involved in the agenda, right? And then we did a why at the end.
Yeah, like why do I do it?
Right, and what was your why?
Because usually it was about the outcome.
The outcome of what you wanted to achieve.
Yeah.
Right, so the benefit of that is you understand when you're looking at the morning checklist, you're not like, oh, I gotta do another morning checklist, check, 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 check. You're like, no. This checklist serves ultimately what I want in the outcome, right? When you focus on the why, right, it makes a big difference in your world, right? So we started this process yesterday in developing a manager because I'm ultimately trying to say I manage things, and then kids have no idea what you're talking about. So I try and relay this in a story so that he can sort of get it, right? So we walked Matthew through a series of online events and promotions and stuff so he kind of knows when we have an event, people come on, they chat with us, it's fun. It's like a party, but it's through the computer, right? He knows how to promotion because that means that we make a message and we print it out and we hand it out to people, right? Sending an email doesn't mean anything to a 7-year-old. They have no idea what that is, right? In this case, we found a way to make it tangible that they would care about it, right? So once again, I'm understanding my avatar, right? I'm creating my message around the outcome that I want, including fun stuff with my boys, right? So today we wanted to be able to share with you this background of the story so you know what we are about and how we use our laptop lifestyle, right, to both raise beautiful children and share our message and inspiration with you, right?
Yes. So that brings us today. We just finished, Ron and I finished on Monday, one of our biggest launches ever, where we came out and said, you know what, we're done with just sort of chasing money, right? We actually want to empower over 1 million conscious entrepreneurs to create and generate and actualize in their lives $1 million, right? A big mission, big game changer as we roll out. I don't know how long it'll take us to do this.
$1 million.
But to create a
How much is that?
million.
A trillion.
High five.
So, we're on our way of creating like an entire economic community, right? And so we had some amazing people who stepped up and decided to come play with us as private clients for the next year. And we have some people that we're going to be out speaking and traveling the world. We haven't quite decided where we're going to get to this year, but I'm hoping Australia and Rome and Italy. Yes, I think that is Rome. Rome is Italy.
Sorry, you can go all over the whole, right?
We can go somewhere else too. But in order to, Antarctica. Oh yeah, I really want to go there. I want to see some penguins.
When you're penguin, you gotta do it like this. Keep your neck still. Keep your neck still.
Oh, next year.
And in supporting people in growing their business. And yesterday we had a VIP day with an amazing 80-year-old woman. Did you realize Inga was 80?
No clue.
Like
She looked like 40.
She did, right? So 80 is so the new 40. But Inga has a product that she's created. She used to be a acupuncturist, and she did all these different modalities, right? And now she wants to be playing golf and traveling the world and things like that.
And she has a gift to share.
And she created a product. She was a very smart woman a couple of years ago, created a product, and it is selling on its own every single day. People are buying the product from her website. And she came to us because she's like, you know what? I don't want to just live on 6 figures. I want to live on like $500,000 because golfing,
Want to ramp this
I got money to spend, right? So we mapped out a plan for her to be able to do that. And we know we also have a community in raising 1 million conscious entrepreneurs. We've got to be able to support those of you who are still at the beginning stages of, I don't know where my next client's going to come from. I hate sales and marketing, meaning like, I sit at home all day and I, do laundry, or I waste 5 or 6 hours on Facebook looking at cat videos or bashing Trump.
Who doesn't?
Right? But at the end of the day, playing around on Facebook and Instagram doesn't pay the rent, doesn't cover the mortgage, doesn't take your family on fun, amazing vacations.
Not unless you're really good at it.
Yeah. If you are, give us a call and let us know. But
Yeah.
So what we've done here is I want to make sure you guys you're in the right place here with a couple of things that we're going to be talking about. So if you feel overwhelmed at all of the choices or all of the things you've got to do to run your business, right? You got your business owner hat on, you've got your coach hat, your teacher hat, your speaker hat, and then you've got like, well, I have to manage a team to do marketing, or I have to go out there and go to networking events, or I have to go speak and stuff, right? So those things can be really overwhelming, right? You got to learn the new webinar. Every week on Facebook, there's somebody new promoting something new that we all want to go buy and sign up for. And if you're like me, it used to be that I had a lot of things that I'd spent money on, and then I would just spend a lot of time feeling bad that I hadn't implemented any of them.
I love feeling bad.
Yeah, right? Very distracting from keeping us to playing a bigger game. So maybe you're drowning in information overload, right? Too many products. Maybe you're good at diving into them and learning them, but you don't know how to put all the pieces together because you're still waiting around saying, how are the clients calling me? The phone's not ringing. My bank account's not filling up, right? If this is you're in the right place here. If you feel like also that you need to get the website done, or please, not if you're one of these, you definitely have to come play with us. But if you are like, well, I rebranded recently and I totally need a new website, or I totally need a new program.
If you got a line of bullshit, we got a class for you.
Right? If you're stuck in a perfectionism loop, right? You got to get over that, because those things don't help you get clients, right? So what we're wanting to do is there's seven challenges that I want to make sure that let's just talk about these for just a second. And if you can get yourself to a place where you can overcome these challenges, and we're going to talk to you about a way to do that, then you're going to be one step closer to having that laptop lifestyle, having the life. Ron was commenting this morning, we took Matthew to all of the places where I go spend a lot of part of my day, but I get to do that because I'm disciplined enough to go and know that the rest of the day I'm going to be doing these sales and marketing activities, or this other time I'm going to be, yesterday we spent a whole day in a VIP day, right? But we manage our schedule, we put ourselves first, right? So if you're dealing with overwhelm, you're in the right place. If you feel like you don't have enough time, you're a mom, you're a dad, you're a brother or sister, or you've got parents that you take care of, what else is going on in your life? But if you're juggling your business on top of everything else, then that can be a barrier to getting clients. If you think you have to have money to get clients, you don't. There's plenty of ways to grow your business, bootstrapping or just really talking to people. If you're drowning in decision making, meaning you can't get out of analysis paralysis, you're always thinking about something.
Should be the chartreuse or the pink.
Analysis paralysis.
Do you know what that is?
No, but it's fun to say.
It is. It
Analysis
is. You should think about it until you figure it out.
Analysis analysis paralysis.
It's thinking about it and then being
Parabola.
paralyzed that you can't take an action because you keep
Analysis
thinking about it.
paralysis parabola.
Parabola. That's also fun to say. Parabola. Parabola.
If you lack focus, like these two, right? If the dirty dishes on the counter distract you and you need to go clean them instead of making sales conversation, instead of calling people, then you're in the right place, right? If and this is a normal thing to deal with. The reason we're bringing Andrew into what happens when we work at home. It's not just we can stay at home and play video games all day, but there are routines that we have in place so that we do get up in the morning and go to work at certain times, and we do have structure so that we don't find ourselves having whittled away 3 or 4 hours in the day not even having accomplished anything
Unless get stuff done.
It's intentional, right? And we have purposeful, like, lazy times to recoup and recover.
Lazy.
And if if you're challenged by knowing where to find clients, any of you challenged by that? You're like, well, I just don't know where anybody is. Especially the question of, I don't know how to find high-paying clients. Okay, most of us have prejudgments and decisions and conclusions about the people in our current network because they all have seen us be somebody that we've been to them for all this time. We have to help do what Ron was saying before and talk to them in such a way that we find out what's important to them and what problems they need solved. And then we can position ourselves in such a way that they might be interested in paying a higher rate to get that problem solved for them, right? And then there's the challenge for most of you of the inner game. If you're afraid of picking up the phone and calling people, if you're afraid of having people be rude to you on the phone, if you're afraid that you don't know enough to get clients, if you don't feel like you're worth charging more, these are all, what?
Then you have a lot of phobias.
You have a lot of phobias, and a lot of entrepreneurs do. Like, this is not a life for a lot of people.
And just to tie this back in, part of the reason why Mandy's birthed the mission about consciousness is overcoming all this fear.
Allowing everything and judging nothing.
Fear.
Right? So if you are challenged by these things, I want to invite you into a challenge to overcome all of this. So starting Wednesday, February 7th, we're going to gather together for the next 21 days, and Ron and I, and hey, maybe Andrew and Matthew will support you in, maybe Penelope will jump in there too.
Yeah.
We'll jump in there and support you in getting 3 new clients at least in 3 weeks. Now, here's what we're going to cover with that. We're going to break down very simply. So the first thing we've got to teach you to do is stop chasing money and start sharing the impact that you're looking to make in the world. Kind of like we're modeling here for you, right? If you go around talking about all of the awesome things that you've got going on in the world, we're going to go to Antarctica, what would it take, right? By even just going out and talking about how you're so excited to go to Antarctica, you will find people who are like, you guys are crazy, I don't have anything to do with you. Or you will find people that are like, I've already been there, let me tell you where to stay and let me tell you who to meet. Or you'll find people who go, well, great, I'd love to go too, right? And so we forget sometimes that this sharing what we're up to can be fun. So we're going to help you. We're going to give you the exact scripts that you need to use. Fill in the blank, like a Mad Lib, right? Fill in the blank about what to go say. I'm going to teach you what to say on Facebook, if that's where you want to play, at home in your yoga clothes. I'm going to teach you what to say on LinkedIn. I'm going to teach you what to say if you actually happen to go out in person to a networking event and see people. I'm going to tell you what to go say to all of the people in your past, your college roommates, your old colleagues from that job you ran away from. We're going to talk to you about every possible scenario. We're going to help you know exactly what to go say about the impact that you're on, because that's something you're going to be passionate about. That's something you're going to have fun talking about. And it's going to be in the invitation to new people. Now, the next thing we're going to help you do is relax a little about looking at people this is a fun analogy for me to talk about like fitness people, right? Because fitness people who are like nutritionalists or people who help people with diet or exercise, right? It would be totally rude for a fitness person to walk up to somebody who was a little obese or some obese, right? And go, "You're fat, you need to hire me." But oftentimes that's what we do with our professions, right? Like we
You're
look at,
so fat.
right, you need help with
You
your
must
website.
need a coach because you're so fat.
You need this, you need that, right?
They're not good enough.
They're not good enough, right? And in a world where we're trying to perpetuate consciousness, I can't have you going out looking at everybody like they're wrong. We've got to have you go out looking at like everybody's awesome, everybody's perfect, and qualify them about whether they want, need, would be fun to play with in order to work with you, okay? So the second step we're going to teach you is about qualifying instead of just like pouncing or feeling desperate, right? We're going to shift that energy for you.
Qualifying is a great way to feel like it's a good forward energy as opposed to having to like, chase everybody down.
Yeah.
Right? Little red velvet approach.
And then the third thing we're going to help you to do is be the invitation for people. So part of this is if you just go and be the invitation in yoga class, or if you be the invitation at church, or if you be the invitation at the soccer games, and just be you and be awesome, those opportunities, once you get a couple of the scripts down, will be so easy for you to be able to just naturally be an invitation to the next step. Now, we're also going to teach you that the next step is not hand out over your credit card, let me take your money, right? The next step might be let's have
That'd be easy though.
but
Like,
a lot of
can I
people
have some money, thanks.
And how does that often work sometimes?
Right?
Andrew and Matthew used to go door to door in the last neighborhood we lived in, selling different things.
Like origami.
Yeah, that was the main
they would
thing.
make origami and then they would go sell it. So I was just was so in awe of how fearless you were that you just go to the neighbors and ask for money. And
like, what else am I supposed to do? Like, do I ask for like a 7-day contract? I give you an origami every day and get money, and I never talk to them in person. I just drop the origami off,
That would
send
be
the
awesome.
money through.
It's good.
But the fact that you're
takes that.
asking,
You just
right?
walk up, knock, here you go.
She admired your, right. She
I
admired
got
your-
told not to bother my neighbors because my neighbors were strangers as a kid, and you definitely can't ask for money because then you're a bad person.
Oh, well, I got money. So.
And so you didn't have that belief, right? We're raising a whole generation of children here who don't have that. Most of the people listening to this call have been told strangers are danger and they shouldn't talk to them.
And they also are afraid to ask for money. So
No.
we're trying to say the next step isn't,
You know what happens then? No clients.
No clients, that's right. Good one. We didn't even see you.
throwing knowledge down.
So we want to help you, again, 3 things over the next 3 weeks. We want to help you talk about the impact you're looking to make. We want to help you qualify prospects and then go and be the invitation and slow down that invitation process. So you're only having to ask for the money to somebody who's really, really chomping at the bit and super excited and really joyful to pay your rates and come work with you. So here's what you'll technically get in the 3 weeks we work together. We're going to do 4 Zoominars. So I'll be able to share your screen. You'll be able to see my screen. You might be able to see Ron and I. We'll be able to see you.
What about me?
And if you're on, you can be on too, right? We might have special videos with you, right?
Yeah.
We're going to have 4 Zoominars where we're going to teach you these concepts and then answer whatever questions that you've got for us about, I can't do this, I'm scared. I did it, and here's what happened. Then you're going to get the 21-day client attraction plan. So it's going to be a little checklist for you every day to go through and know exactly, if I only have 5 minutes, what can I do today to plant a seed to get a new client? Or if I have 2 hours today because I have nothing else to do, here's the actions that I need to take. We're going to give you daily motivation in a private Facebook group. And you're going to get 4 group energy clearings. So we're going to take all the crap that you guys have about not being able to do something and shift that for you. And you'll be wanting to listen to those 24/7 all the time so that you energetically can clear whatever blocks you've got going on from getting more clients and making more money. You know about the clearings, right? You have to listen to them in the car and in the house all day long all the time.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you know what you're saying? Pod, right, wrong, good, bad, all 9.
Can we Can we destroy and create all that, please?
Yes. Right? And then we're going to give you a ton of done for you templates. So, what to say in an elevator, what to say at the bagel shop, what to say at Pilates, like all of these scripts, depending on how people are approaching you, how you're going to say something that invites them into another conversation with you and that will lead you to having much more ease with getting clients. Did I leave anything out there?
There's some subtlety that I would like to emphasize, and then we can, right? Oh, I know who I'm talking to already. Look, if you don't have enough clients, if you're not sure, then you haven't properly defined who you're talking to and why you're talking to them. You haven't hit the nail on the head. I work with entrepreneurs. I work with attorneys. I work with, no, not enough. There's more work to do. You can get deeper. You can get more specific. You can penetrate. I look forward to working with you.
Yeah. So, I will put the link below this video of where to come sign up to join us. The best part of this is it's super economical. For less than $2 a day, you're going to be able to, or it might exactly be $2. Sometimes my math is off. For just $42, you're going to get to play with us for the next 21 days, starting February 7th, and in getting 3 clients in 3 weeks. So if you charge at least $100 an hour or at least $50 an hour, if you fail at this challenge and only get 1 client, you will have made your money back. Okay? If you succeed at the challenge and get 3 clients, then you will have
made triple.
Yes,
There you
I
go.
can.
Yes.
Yes, I can.
Yay!
So
Yes, I can.
if you'd like a life with a little more fun and a little more freedom and a lot more cash and a lot more clients, and this feels like something fun, then click the link below and come join us. If you have questions, you can give us a call at 888-423-5960. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye.
Jazz hands.